Okay, so annual's over. It's been a week. We've all had time to digest what happened. And instead of just giving you a carousel of our photos and videos of our time there in Milwaukee, we decided we were going to do one better and make it really entertaining. Annual's all about awards, right, Sid?
It's all about awards.
So what are we gonna do?
Superlatives.
We're gonna give out some awards for our favorites, right? Yeah, okay. All right. Well, because the whole thing was about fun and we laughed our way through the entire event, I think it's only appropriate that we start with the funniest moment of the entire event. What was that, Sid?
Funniest moment, we're at the Kempton Hotel hanging out with Tim Harrison and his son Blake. Shout out to Blake. We met him when he was like 4 years old, 5 years old. Now he's going away to college. So that was great. And Tom Sanzik tells us about the first version of his video that we just sent him a couple of days before annual meeting. Talks about how he watched it with his wife, a tear appeared in her eye, maybe a little vino was poured, and maybe one thing led to another. I'm not gonna say everybody's gonna have the same experience on an Optimum Films video, but Tom had a really great experience. You see him, you should ask him.
It might not be something that we can make a testimonial about in the future, but I will say it is probably the most glowing review of any video we've ever been given by any advisor.
Now I'm gonna turn this one over to you, Rob. Who was the best dressed annual meeting?
Well, it's a very interesting conversation because when we talk about best dressed, there are some usual suspects that we always mention, right? Armin Kadewala, Leo Tucker. These are like primary names that get brought up in the Northwest.
Don't forget our Uncle Scotty, Scott Sparks.
These guys know how to put on a suit and wear it well, right? But, when we were at this year's event, I have to say, the person I've never met before was very stylishly dressed, right? Jeff Peterson. We walked down the hall and you flagged him down out of nowhere. And we're like, hey, you are a snappy dresser.
Yes. And Tim told us about Jeff. He's like, hey, you got to put Jeff in that list. So when I seen him, I was like, Jeff, I got to give you this award.
But honorable mention, the whole reason why the conversation even got started was because you were telling Tim, hey, Tim, we might have to put you in the conversation for snappiest dresser.
There you go. And listen, just because Rob says snappy, I don't know what a snappy dresser is, but people that dress well are dressed well. Sure, we won't let Rob be part of the snappiest dresser conversation anymore.
So from best dressed, and when you're out looking good, you want to be seen, right? So where are you going to head? You're going to head to the parties. But we noticed that some people were a little bit better at partying than others. Who do you think takes down this year's award for the best person to party with?
I'm gonna give you two honorable mentions, then I'm gonna let you answer that because I'm pretty sure we have the same person in mind. When I get an honorable mention, you'll be like, he's right. We got the same person in mind. So honorable mention, I gotta go Danny Lopez from Home Office. We always like having a drink with him, but to see him at the Whole Growth Party and to party again with him at the Kempton was great. Then I gotta go Tom Sanzik. Let's go back Tom Sanzik. He's not winning this award, but he's nominated. He's definitely nominated. He needs to rub some off on his son Steve, but he's definitely nominated. Now I'm gonna let you roll out the red carpet, and the winner is...
Well, but before we roll the drum roll, let me just add, Steve is the one taking Tom's score down.
Okay. So, and the winner is?
Winner is Jack McKeegan, that
Jack.
Irish angel himself. I don't know if there's any person who you'd rather have a drink with, you'd rather tie one on with. The man is an American gem, if you ask me.
Surprising moment. There was a lot of surprising moments that went on during annual, like Carrie Underwood appearing at the Christian Fellowship luncheon. The fact that most of y'all seen us at all during that week. What would you say this most surprising moment is, Rob?
Most surprising moment for me, let's go back to the Christian luncheon, right? honestly, it is crazy that Matt Crothers was not there this year. What a big surprise that he had such a awful health event. Thank God he's doing better. And in the rush to try and get people to fill the seats, right? Who did they put at our table for the event but Ray Sclafani and Megan Stoddard from ClientWise? It was such an incredibly serendipitous moment where, you know, we've been talking with Ray for a while. It just was a great chance to really to know we're values aligned, because being at the Christian Luncheon is all about that values alignment.
There you go. It's always great seeing Ray and Megan. Shout out to ClientWise and all the great things they got to do over there and how they help you guys out so you guys can have multi-generational firms that buy multi-generational videos from Optimum Films.
For many generations.
What's next?
And like you said, lots of people might have been just surprised to see us, but we were surprised to see other people as well. So who would you say that you were most surprised to see at Annual this year, Sid?
The Tay Swims, Carrie Underwood concert. You know, shout out to Barry Fees for making sure that we had tickets to get in. We're there taking Barry a drink, and all of a sudden out of nowhere pops up Keith Spingle. Out of nowhere. We start talking for a second. He goes, hold on. Got super excited, reaches in his pocket, pulls out an envelope, and gives us 2 bands so we can get down onto the floor where all the other PCG guys, where most of our clients was. That was a surprising moment, because right after he gave us those, he disappeared in a whirlwind, and I don't think we've seen him again the rest of the annual meeting or the rest of the night.
You had another surprising observation about the concert that I think most people would be also surprised to hear. What was the thing that you noticed about the difference between the pit and the stands?
Yeah, it was very interesting. Usually the pit, when you go to a concert, the pit is the younger kids, you know, teenagers in their 20s, and then like the older guys might be in the suites, or, you know, they got good seats down in the lower bowl. But at this event, all of the older advisors were all in the pit. The pit was just filled with the older advisors and their families. I see Kevin Lohan mosh pitting with John Adams. You know, Randy Lehman had Jonathan Lehman in the little headphones to make sure he didn't hurt his hearing. And all of the top advisors all down there on the floor, just taking up all the space to enjoy the concert. Opposite of any other concert I've been to in my life, but still so
Meanwhile, all the interns in their club finest are in the way back seats and can't barely see.
Now let me ask you, Rob, who are you happiest to see at the event?
Oh man, that is a real toss-up, because, you know, there were several people that I was happy to actually finally have time to be social with, right? And so getting to be social with folks is just absolutely like one of the best parts of Annual. So I was happy to see everybody, right? But if you had to pick a person, if you had to pick maybe 2 people to be happiest to see, right? I would say maybe it would be Rod and Eli Parker, right? I mean, if you think about it, right, Rod and Eli, they have been with us as close to the beginning of 2nd generation Optimum Films as you can get, right? And for them to be early adopters and to want to make sure, I mean, seriously, we haven't done but maybe 2 videos for them in 10 years. And they wanted to make sure that we came to the event. They came and gave us passes so that we could get in and see things. You know, it was an incredible gesture. It was something that, you know, it made us feel initiated into this event, right? So it's something that I think I'll always remember, and I was just so happy to see them and just talk to them about how their business is growing, and they're gonna be ensembling next year. It's super exciting for them. So yeah, if I had to pick 2, it would be those guys. Sid, you know, any good adventure, maybe some people might call it a quest. You have a main mission, but then to complete that main mission, you get sidetracked. You have to get something else in order to finish it. And this is what we call in the world of film a side quest. There were some side quests to be had at Annual. What do you think were some of the best side quests at Annual this year?
Well, I think my best side quest. So first off, for those that don't know, I did keep a bingo card with some of my favorite teams, and we had everybody's names written and all that kind of stuff. And the quest, my favorite side quest, was on the last night, which was Wednesday night for me. Rob left, and I got to see Ben Feldman. I had run into several members of the team. It was just a great time. Ran into Pete on one of the first nights. But the fact I seen Ben Feldman at the club BWR, it was Ben Feldman, Mike Ryan, and Aaron Miller, all coming from upstairs, bouncing out to the dance floor to like Usher's Yeah, and all of us just dancing and enjoying ourselves, knowing it was a great time. That not only was a fun time, but I got to check off and get bingo on my Park Avenue Capital bingo card.
I think you're forgetting to mention what makes it such an incredible side quest is the fact that our primary mission was given to us 20 minutes earlier at the concert to go to the Mike Jones party, which, you know, like we didn't even know about. Like we had no idea he was even in town, but he was throwing a specific party to close down Annual. And we hadn't seen him in a long time, but you, my friend, have a nose for where the party's at. It was packed.
It was packed in. It was packed in.
Yeah, as far as my side quest goes, the reason why I had to bail on you that evening, right, was because my side quest had happened the night before, right? And, you know, we were out with Jack McKeegan having a great time, and then we decided we were going to walk back to our hotel from there because everything in Milwaukee is so walkable. Okay, so primary mission, walk home. Very simple, right? Somehow I end up at a tiki bar. I don't even know where this tiki bar is located. You couldn't, I mean, I tried to walk the route the next day, couldn't find it. This might be a Phantom Tiki Bar. Anyway, so I end up at the Phantom Tiki Bar, right? And I meet a lady who is just so pumped that Ironheart is now available on Disney for streaming. And this is the first person I've literally ever heard say this in my entire life, so I am just fascinated. I have to know everything that she loves about Ironheart, and then she wants to know everything that I know about Ironheart, and it builds up like this immediate like closeness, right? Which, you know, her boyfriend was like pretty cool. He was like, hey, come hang out with us. I'm like, where are you guys going? He's like, well, we're going to East Milwaukee. I'm like, all right. So I went to East Milwaukee and hung out at a biker bar until 3 in the morning with some strangers that I met at a Phantom Tiki Bar.
If you've never been on the side quest, you know you're ready to miss it. Sometimes you just got to look to the side and look at your friends and go, I'm going over there. You're never going to get your full cool points with all your side quests.
That's all the awards. Now, if we're going to bring it home for the night, what should we tell people about how they can win an award for next year?
How you can win an award for next year is to work with Optimum Films. If you never had a Sprinter van at annual meeting, find someone who have and go, hey, did you work with Optimum Films? 9 out of 10 are going to say, yes, we did.
All right, cool.